The gentle morning breeze carried the scent of damp leaves as Sophia walked through the narrow streets of the old quarter. Her footsteps echoed on the worn cobblestones, and she felt something pulling her towards this place, as if a forgotten memory was trying to emerge. In the distance, a clock struck 10, but the sound was muffled, almost inaudible. She stopped in front of a house with dark wooden doors and windows draped in heavy curtains. A rusty plaque read Alba, but there were no signs of life inside. Sophia hesitated before ringing the doorbell. When she did, a shrill sound echoed, followed by an uncomfortable silence. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a woman with gray hair and eyes so deep they seemed to hold the secrets of another era. "Welcome," the woman said, her voice as low as a whisper. "You came to ask about him, didn't you?" Sophia didn't know what to answer, but the woman seemed to understand. "Then come in," she added, stepping aside to make room. Inside the house, the air was heavy, thick with the smell of old books and accumulated dust. Shelves overflowing with bound volumes lined the walls, and in the center of the room stood a table covered with maps and yellowed papers. "This is where he worked," the woman said, pointing to an empty chair. "He was obsessed with patterns. He kept tracing invisible lines in the air with his fingers, patterns that no one else could see." A shiver ran down Sophia's spine at this. She knew they were talking about Martin, the man whose name had appeared in every newspaper decades ago, before disappearing without a trace. What was he searching for? Sophia asked, her voice trembling slightly. The woman smiled enigmatically. "He wanted to understand infinity," she replied, "but not as others understand it. To him, infinity wasn't just a mathematical concept. It was something alive, something that breathed." Sophia furrowed her brow, trying to comprehend. The woman explained that Martin started with numbers, but soon realized they were just the tip of the iceberg. He saw connections where no one else did, between stars, people, even between moments in time. He said everything was connected, but most people were too blind to see it. Sophia felt a strange familiarity, as if she had heard these words before. She looked around, noticing details that had escaped her before. Symbols drawn on the edges of the maps, geometric shapes that seemed to pulse as she observed them. "What happened to him?" she finally asked. The woman sighed, her eyes losing focus for a moment. "He went too far," she said simply. "Too far to return." A lump formed in Sophia's throat. She needed to know more, but something in that room made her feel as if she was trespassing on forbidden territory. Before she could ask another question, the woman stood up and walked to a shelf, taking down an old leather-bound book. "Take this," she said, handing it to Sophia. "Perhaps you'll find some answers here." Sophia hesitated before taking the book, feeling its unusual weight. When she looked back at the woman, she was already gone, occupied with something Sophia couldn't see. She left the house without another word, but as she walked back through the narrow streets, she felt something within her had changed. The book seemed to vibrate against her chest, as if it held something beyond words. Sophia only opened the book when she reached her apartment, a small space on the top floor of an old building. The pages were dense, filled with notes and diagrams that seemed to dance under the weak lamplight. She realized they weren't just numbers and formulas, but fragments of thoughts, reflections on time and existence. On one page, she found a phrase underlined repeatedly: "Infinity cannot be measured, but it can be felt." Those words seemed to resonate within her, awakening memories she didn't know she had. She spent hours absorbed in the book until the sound of someone knocking at the door brought her back to reality. Opening it, she found Matteo, a childhood friend she hadn't seen in years. He looked different, more serious, as if carrying an invisible weight. "I heard you were at Alba's house," he said, without preamble. Sophia nodded, surprised. "How did you know?" Matteo hesitated. "I was there too. A long time ago." Sophia frowned, confused. "Why didn't you ever tell me?" Matteo sighed, entering the apartment without waiting for an invitation. "It wasn't something I could explain." He sat at the table. "He was my mentor. He taught me many things, but he also showed me things I'd rather not have seen." Sophia felt a shiver. "What did you see?" Matteo looked at her, his eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and fascination. He saw the world in a way no one else could. He said the universe was like a web, and every action, no matter how small, created ripples that traveled through time and space. But there was something more, something he never fully explained. What was it? Matteo chose his words carefully. He believed there was an ancient intelligence, something that observed, that responded. Sophia felt a chill run down her spine. That sounds crazy, she said, though a part of her felt it made sense. Perhaps it is, Matteo shrugged, but he was right about many things. He predicted impossible events, connected dots no one else saw. What happened to him? Sophia asked. Matteo was silent for a long moment. He disappeared, but not as people think. He didn't run away or die. He simply merged. Merged with what? With the web, Matteo replied, his eyes reflecting profound sadness. He became a part of it. Sophia felt the ground fall away beneath her feet. That was impossible, but something in Matteo's voice felt true. Before she could ask more questions, he stood abruptly. I have to go. But be careful, Sophia. Some things aren't meant to be understood. And he left, leaving her alone with the mysterious book. In the following days, Sophia delved deeper into the book's contents, discovering connections that seemed impossible. Each page revealed new layers of meaning, as if Martin guided her through time. She began to notice patterns in her daily life. Coincidences she had previously ignored now screamed for attention. One day, in the park, she spotted a distant figure sitting on a bench. It was Matteo, but there was something different about him. He saw her and waved for her to approach. You're still reading the book, he said, without preamble. It's like he's speaking directly to me, Sophia replied. Matteo smiled, enigmatic. Perhaps he is. Martin always knew how to reach people, even after he left. What do you mean? He left traces, Matteo explained. Clues scattered across the world, waiting for someone to find them. Sophia frowned. So you think he planned this? I don't know if he planned it, but he knew someone would follow in his footsteps. And now? Now you decide how far you want to go. But remember, the deeper you go, the harder it will be to return. Determined, Sophia visited places mentioned in the book, discovering marks and symbols that confirmed Martin's theories. In a secluded cave, she found a crystal sphere pulsating with its own light. Touching it, visions of unknown times and places flooded her mind. Back in the park, she found a note, Infinity chooses its own messengers. Weeks later, Sophia returned to Alba's house. The room was different, as if the objects had formed new patterns. You felt it, didn't you? Alba said, without looking at her. The web. It's starting to respond to you. What should I do? Alba handed her a hand-drawn map. Follow the threads. They will lead you where you need to go. Guided by the map, Sophia reached a glass and metal tower floating over a lake. There, she found Matteo. You made it this far, he said, as if it were inevitable. In the center of the tower, a larger version of the crystal sphere pulsed intensely. Martin's voice echoed. Welcome, Sophia. You've been connected to the web from the beginning. Touching the sphere, the world expanded, revealing an infinite network of connections. When she came to, she was back in the park, surrounded by Alba and other familiar faces. We are part of it, Sophia said, finally understanding. All connected. And so, her journey through infinity had only just begun.